All praise is due to Allah, who has united the hearts of the believer in Islam and has made it an obligation to remain united and has made it forbidden to become separated in his clear book. I bear witness that there is nothing worthy of worship except Allah, who guides to the straight path whom he wills, and I bear witness that our leader Muhammad is his messenger and the best caller to the way that is straight. O Allah, send your prayers and your peace upon our leader Muhammad and upon his family and upon his companions, whose hearts were united and whose souls were educated, so that they became victorious leaders. And what follows thereafter, O believers of Allah, I advise you as well as I advise myself, to first have the proper regard for Allah, and thereafter be obedient to him. Dear believers, I greet you with the universal greetings of peace. Assalamu alaikum, which means peace be with you. This week we look at the attribute of Al-Mughnī. Al-Mughnī, which means the one who makes you sufficient or self-sufficient. And it comes from the same root word of last week's attribute, Al-Ghani, which means the self-sufficient. And we know that the prefix mu means the one who. So Allah is the one who makes you sufficient. And we see this in our religion, in a basic capacity, where we see where the Prophet, peace be upon him, was given the Quran. And in the Quran it said, on this day I have perfected your religion for you. Meaning that the religion of Islam was perfected, and that all possibilities and all ways to achieve paradise have been written and have been provided as an instruction for us as Muslims to be successful. And so this is what our Creator has done for us. He's done this, and he's done other things that we would not have thought to do for ourselves if we had to think of what are the things that we would need, what are the things that we would need to do in order to be sufficient or to be successful in life. And so Allah has given us the Quran. Allah has given us our family members. Allah has given us things that we can learn and that we can take to ourselves and to be able to provide for others. Allah is Al-Mughnī. He is the one who makes you self-sufficient. And we think so often about the external things. We think about the things that we're able to buy, the things that we're able to show others that we have, that we were successful. But the other thing that Allah has provided for us to make us sufficient, He's given us confidence. He's given us confidence. He's given us a religion and an example in the Prophet, peace be upon him, to give us confidence in who we are and what we're doing, so that we can go out and be the best Muslims that we can. So he's made us sufficient. So as we travel and venture throughout this world and throughout our life and all the hardships and struggles that we may face, he has provided us with something that makes us sufficient and able to deal with those things, able to reconcile those things that we're experiencing, because he provided us the Quran. And this is Allah. This is your Creator. And he has also provided us a way to love ourselves. And that is key, dear believers. So often we love everything else. We love the nice cars. We love the things that people say to us. We love the things that people do for us. But we don't love ourselves. And when we don't love ourselves, we can't go out and be the best version of ourselves that we can be. So we have to look at Allah as Al-Mughnī, the one who makes us self-sufficient, because He gives us the things that are necessary in our life. The intellect. He gives us our associations with those people who may like us, who build us up. He gives us this religion. He gives the Quran that shows that we are inherently good, and Allah wants success for us. So it builds us up, and it causes us to love ourselves, because we know that our Creator loves us, because He designed us the way that He wanted to design us. So we are products of the design of our Creator, and we know that because of the life of the Prophet, peace be upon him, we see the struggles that he had. We see the problems that he had. And he was still able to find a way to love himself enough to go out and be successful and do for others. And so we take that and we see that. And we want that for ourselves. So Allah is Al-Mughnī. He is the one who will make you sufficient. He will make things sufficient for you. And just because you may make a prayer, you may do a request, you may ask a dua of Allah, and it doesn't happen for you at that moment, it doesn't mean that He doesn't have the capacity to fulfill that. Allah is Al-Mughnī. He is the one who will make you sufficient. أقول قولي استغفر الله لي ولكم والحمد لله رب العالمين. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك مجيد. So we think of Allah as Al-Mughnī, and we have to find a way to apply this in our life. How did Allah make us sufficient? How did Allah make us have a semblance of being self-sufficient? Although we know that there's so many things that we depend on. We depend on Him. We depend on the creation that He has provided. We depend on the earth being here. We depend on so many things. But still within that, there's capacity for us to go out and do things to support ourselves and to support others. And so we think about the baby. We think about this baby who, when it comes out of its mother, it has no concept of where it is, and it doesn't have a concept of walking. It doesn't have a concept of so many things. But inside of it, it has this desire to be more, to do more. It doesn't necessarily understand that drive, but it knows that it has it. So we see this baby lay on his belly or lay on his back, and then he begins to roll, and over time he begins to turn over, and over time he begins to crawl and begins to move and begins to stand up. And he may fall, but he gets back up, and at some point the baby no longer needs his parents to hold him, to help him walk. We think about the person that learns to ride a bike where they have the training wheels. And they just begin, they have the training wheels to keep them from falling from one side or the other. And with more practice, with more experience, they begin to get better. Their balance gets better. They begin to be able to balance in the environment, and then the training wheels can come off. And now they can maneuver on their own. We think about us as we just begin to engage the religion. And we would need someone, or we'd need a book or somebody to teach us how to say our prayer to worship our Creator. And we would study and we would take time and we would do this. And as time went on, as we took more repetition, the more prayers that we said, we became capable of leading prayers, leading others in prayers. This is Allah being Al-Mughnī. This is Him giving us this idea or this concept of self-sufficiency, where it's not where He is Al-Mughnī or He is Al-Ghani, the self-sufficient. We are self-sufficient. We are not Al-Ghani, we are Ghani, where we can go out and we can walk on our own. And even those that have that desire to walk and they want to run in races and they want to get faster, and so they train and they prepare their body to move faster and increase their lung capacity so that they could move faster and further. And it's Allah who is Al-Mughnī, who, one, put the capacity for this effort, for this work in the body, but also gave them the drive or the desire to not remain stagnant, to want to improve themselves, to improve their condition so that they can get to a place that they would be proud of. In so many instances, if we just step back and we think, we can see this aspect of Allah being Al-Mughnī within us. We can see it in the creation. We can see it in so many things. And so just because you make a dua to Allah, Just because with all your sincerity and all your faith and belief that you make a dua, a request, a prayer to your creator, and it doesn't go the way that you think that it should, it does not mean that Allah does not have the capacity. Sometimes we just have to step back and look at the small things. We just have to step back and look at the things that He has already done in our lives or in the lives of others. And know that His capacity is not gone. That His capacity to make us sufficient is not gone. It just may not be the time for us. That particular thing just may not be the thing for us. But we're still going to turn to our Creator. We're still going to ask for His help. We're still going to ask for His forgiveness. We're still going to ask of Him. And we will remember as we ask them with the faith in our heart, with the belief that He has the capacity, we will accept and recognize that He is Al-Mughnī, the one who can make us sufficient or make us self-sufficient. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار ربنا تقبل منا إنك السميع العليم إن صلاتي ونسكي ومحياي ومماتي لله رب العالمين لا شريك له وأنا أول المسلمين والحمد لله رب العالمين آمين.